This one I got it from a Christian brand. It's called Dios God.
Oh, cute.
So it's some Bible verses, some flags. I was like, yo, if I'm gonna buy a hat, I might as well.
You see the other side? Okay. Oh, the dove. Wow, we're going to Pentecostal days. Mira que linda.
Wow, bien cristiano. All right, praise him.
Inconsistent.
All right, praise him. All right, so this is the deal. We got this guy. Your boy.
He's not my boy.
That's your guy.
I actually like the liberal that was converted. I forget his name.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Tom
Tom is the old guy.
Okay,
yeah, Tom is the old guy. Oh, see, you watch it too.
Well, I remember, but I don't remember the other guy's name.
He's annoying. He's like
no, he's not annoying. I feel like he is better than the other guy.
Vinny, the Italian.
I guess
he's
I
not
don't know.
Italian. He's Armenian. But
Is Vinny? What's the other one's name?
Forgot. But
they say his name in the beginning of the episode.
Oh, every episode because he doesn't he doesn't get to the point.
So how does it go? What does it go? How does it go?
I don't know.
Just get to the point.
Go ahead.
I like him better because he converted. Well, I don't know if he converted. I don't know if you want to call that, but because he's kind of on the fence, I feel like he got both perspectives. But everybody's like immediately like Trump, and it's just like I know what you're gonna say before you say it. I don't like that. I like this guy that's thinking. Oh man,
hold on.
Yeah, hold on. That's a good idea, but it's like, I want to hear what the but is about, because that means there's an idea.
Adam.
Yes.
Such a
yeah.
Like the first name
that
ever.
means that there's a clash in your mind when you're thinking, oh snap, but then you got to compare and
you see him too, because I really haven't been watching the show since the gay. They're like 600 episode whatever.
Since the gay. They had a gay episode?
Oh, all of them are gay. But he off the gate, he he was a left, and then you see him slowly transition, and now he's just like, I can't believe I was there. Like, it's cool to see that, and I would love to see the same thing on the other side. Like, how do you get a conservative to flip? You know, and I feel like that's more impossible than the other way around. Am I bugging?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think it is.
I don't think so.
So like I don't know how true these clips are, but I saw like a woman like, oh, he cut my Trump cut my benefits, so now I don't have benefits. I can't believe I voted for him. I was like,
no, but there's propaganda out there.
Yeah, but she was a federal employee that got cut. But
you saw her federal ID? So how do you know?
Right, that's right. So you don't know if it's true.
Okay, so let's go to this thing. Jubilee just put out an episode with your boy.
Okay.
You're the pastor. What's the name of your pastor of your church? Patrick Ben David?
Slide me over a little bit. Patrick Ben David. Pastor Ben David.
He was the one capitalist.
Okay.
Versus the anti-capitalist. I feel like that's a weird title because I think what would happen is people in the circle were like, well, I'm a communist, not a socialist. And I was like, oh, I'm a socialist. So they're like, all right, whatever, guys, just anti-capitalist. I feel like even amongst themselves, they're probably going back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I saw another clip, totally different from this, where this guy was like a billionaire versus like poor people. And one of the people asked him, why don't you just change one of our lives? You have all this money. You can easily change one of our lives forever. And he didn't want to do that. He's like, no, I'm not just going to give away money for no reason. What do you got to offer? On this clip, though, Patrick David was like, I'm going to give you this.
So crazy.
All right, so let's watch. I think we can only watch like a minute at a time before YouTube is like, hey, wait.
That's copywritten.
Yeah. So I don't know if you want to do that. Just give it like a minute, and then we'll stop and talk for a few seconds.
All right, go ahead. Hit it. Hit it, maestro.
Oh, you got the muscle.
I'm glad y'all tripped over each other because I did too.
Hold on.
James.
Pause that.
James.
Rewind it like 30 seconds. Keep going. Right there. Go ahead. Okay. that's your pastor. Press play.
You saw right shoes?
Right there. Press play.
He had cute shoes.
Watch everybody run. They didn't really try.
I'm glad y'all tripped over each other because I did too.
Pause it.
James.
What's your name?
You notice they didn't really try. They kind of just got up.
They looked like they were hesitant.
Yeah.
A few times they looked like that.
Yeah. So
there was one point where no one was really like.
Yeah.
One guy was like, Okay,
That's why I was noticing that when I was watching it before, that there was times where it's just kind of quiet, and then finally somebody's like, all right, fine, I'll go. Sometimes you watch it and they're rushing. This time they were like, I don't know what to say. I don't know if I should get in there. Anyway, so let's play this guy. Look at the way look at so nice.
One of the
smug.
things that you have stated is that we have options. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of my background, I come from a divorced family, and we lived below the poverty level from the time that I was born until now, frankly. So I'm one of those people that you're talking about that isn't pulling themselves up by their bootstraps enough. Which, like, I didn't have boots to begin
Hold on,
with,
pause
and
that.
like, I don't know if you've ever.
Let me get. Oh, I can I do it?
I think you can.
Look at his tooth. He has the same tooth I got. So notice he said, "I didn't pull myself up the bootstraps." He's playing the victim card
Instantly.
So he's like, "We grew up under the poverty line." Blah blah blah. Well, I guess I'm one of those people that didn't. Why'd you didn't? What the hell was
It's
that?
the exact reverse when Patrick David is talking.
Yes, he's like, I was poor, and then one day I snapped out of it. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm rich, but I was poor.
Yeah.
I'm poor, and that's why I'm poor.
And I'm poor. I can't get out.
And I can't do nothing, and that's why, because
Yeah,
I'm poor.
and I'm there. Yeah, and I a while ago I was watching. I forgot who the hell I was watching. I think it was Ben Shapiro or something like that. And he was like, they like to be in this place, this victim place.
It's comfortable.
So, because if they get out, then they have to prove themselves. But if they stay in the victim, they don't have to prove themselves. They can kind of just, walk.
But it's not only to prove, in my opinion, it's not only that they have to prove themselves, but by being the victim, then it allows me, it gives me a pass for my fuck ups. Like, I'm gonna try something that I know probably wouldn't work or be good for me, but because my circumstances, then I'm gonna do crack.
All right,
Crack is good.
Give us some.
No,
good.
crack is not good. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Had boots, but like legs are load-bearing structures.
I relate.
And like you can't really pull up a boot when you're wearing it.
See what I'm saying? I relate.
So, where exactly am I failing when I am working 80 hours a week? I am taking the only jobs that will hire me.
Okay, he said, where exactly am I failing? He's asking me a question. Yo, give me an answer.
Yeah.
Where am I failing?
I have put in 477 applications over the last 2.5 years. Not even gotten a call back once.
Why do you think?
You tell me. You're a job creator.
But I don't know your resume. You know your life better than I do. Why do you think you have not gotten a call back on 477?
Because
a lot
I
of
do
people
not
get
have a degree.
callbacks. Okay.
Because I do not have a degree.
I
Because
don't
I could
either.
not afford one.
Okay.
Patrick's like, we're on the same page right now.
Yeah.
You don't have a degree? Surprise.
Neither did I.
I got my GED too. When I you got some credits, I found out.
Shut up.
I
Cheater.
live
Wait, sorry, I was
Yeah.
cheating.
in an area where the physical job market is very limiting.
Where do you live?
I live in rural Texas.
Okay.
So
So these are not insurmountable odds, meaning I live in an area where there's no jobs. You can leave. Apply for a job somewhere else, far away, outside of the area. When they ask for an interview, take the road trip, interview, blah, 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 do whatever it is, whatever it takes. Maybe save up some money in the meantime, stay in a hotel for a week until your first paycheck, and maybe, you know what I'm saying? You can do that. You don't have to stay in that town
Right.
where there's no jobs.
Yeah.
You figure out a way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Buy a cheap car, bring it to that town, sleep in your car for a week or 2
Ooh.
weeks or whatever.
Who's done that here?
I've done that. Well, not because I had to, because not because I was poor, but because for work it's just easier.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that don't count, bitch.
Well, but that's what
You're not a victim.
But I'm doing it the same way he would do it, meaning I have to stay in my car because of work.
Oh, yeah.
So if I'm working a double, I'm not gonna go home. I sleep in my car.
Right. Right.
And
Well,
he can easily do that for a week or 2 weeks. It's shower in what's the name of the gym, Planet Fitness or something.
you're going to shower Planet Fitness?
Yeah.
You're going to get an STD if you do that.
When I went to the gym with Danny, we showered at the gym.
Oh, that's because you guys were giving each other STDs. Play the clip.
like in the town that I grew up in, for instance, there are 8 jobs, period.
There's
What he means is 8 companies. He doesn't mean 8 jobs. There's only 8 jobs. And everybody got them. So
What is that? The Starbucks, the burger place.
yeah, there's one cop,
There's
one
cop,
fireman,
one high school.
yeah, one teacher. That's it.
What's
You
the thing for five?
You know what's funny? Sometimes I watch this and I look at the people in the background. I'm like, they never got to talk.
No.
They would
That
just
girl
sit-
right there.
Never. We never see who she is.
She does not even
She's
bother.
a hologram.
He's kind of intimidating.
Yeah. Well, but think of what he's doing. They're asking him a question, and he's like, "Okay, but why do you think that?"
Yeah.
And he's forcing them to grind those gears.
This seems like
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Am I gonna get a check?
Oh, does your family live there? Mom, dad, everybody's in that same city?
Everybody was at one point.
Okay.
Most of them are dead now.
Okay, sorry to hear.
You saw his face when he said that. Most of them are dead. Like, I'm a victim.
More victim.
Victim, yeah.
It is what it is. It's poverty. You know, we're kind of used to that on this side.
It's also this rage that is like, bro, divert that into making an effort.
Yeah.
And if you fail, bro, that's
You have energy.
you have all this anger that
you-
you could direct it into.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm really gonna
Be mad at-
Google the shit out of my resume.
Be mad at the money and get it.
Be mad
Direct it at the money.
Get that
I wanna
money.
Get that money.
I can't, go ahead. Jesus.
Why do you feel like you're a victim? Why do you feel like you're a victim? Why do you feel like the way you speak, like, you know, you're the victim where all this happened to you?
Because I exist and things happen to
Well, why do
you,
you see
and
yourself
as
as a
such,
victim?
things happen.
You see how he's like, he doesn't have a real answer? He's just like, well, because it's just, that's the way the world is. We're all poor.
Yeah.
That's the way the world is.
No, not we.
But I'm saying, like, but that's what he's trying to, say. Like, we're all poor. All of us here in this circle. And you're the rich one. That's just the way it is. And it's, I mean, I could speak for myself, and I'm sure you can too.
Hell
we
yeah.
were poor.
We're still poor.
I'm not saying I'm not rich, but I don't feel poor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel all right, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't feel like this guy.
No.
Like, oh, it's the worst thing in the world. Just
No,
like, you know.
we're technically poor.
Honestly, what we're doing in New York, we would dominate other places in this world.
Sure, but we're technically when the line is like if we were on a graph, we're in poor, but we're not.
No, I'm standing on top of poor. I'm like right above him looking down. I pulled myself up from my bootstraps.
No, you're poor. What you're not is broke.
Yeah.
Okay, let's define. I don't know if this guy's broke, but you know what I mean. We're poor. We're just not broke. Broke is there's a level behind poor. Broke too. Homeless.
Yeah.
Like there are broke people that have a place to go. They get meals. They have, if they need to, they could borrow $500 to get out of a bill.
Yeah.
Those are broke niggas.
Yeah.
And then there are the freaking
Poor.
like the
They're like,
homeless.
I don't even know anybody that's
I don't know.
$500.
I have a cup in my hand. I'm asking for change.
Yeah. You notice it? He should have just did his hair. I feel like his hair's like messed up. And also that guy in the background. Look at his face.
Let's see the face.
Look at him. He kind of looks like Tony Hawk, right?
I'm trying to figure out who he look like.
All right.
Oh,
And
sometimes
that's
you
why
gotta-
I say that they happen
You're
to
a
me.
good-looking guy. Why
Thanks.
do you think you're a victim? Why do you think you're somebody that's got into a situation because it's not fair what happened to me? Let me give you a couple options.
Sure.
Are you open to leaving the
Never
city
hear from
you're in?
her.
I've already left.
nervous.
So what city?
I've left multiple cities.
So if somebody else gave you a job in a different place, you'd be
100%.
willing to move there.
100%.
Okay. On your resume. On your resume.
It says that.
What do you have on your resume? Skill set. What do you offer?
Transportation expertise, logistics expertise.
You consider yourself a hard worker.
I mean, I feel
You
like
said
80 hours a week.
That's a
something like
hard
that.
worker.
Sure.
How about we do this? How about I interview it?
So you want to say 80 a week? Even Patrick, whoa, that's
You're willing to give me 80 hours
if
of
you
your
give me 80s
life?
on if you give me 80s
You know how many hours are in a week? Coordinator?
I don't know.
168.
Yeah. So okay, so you give me half your week.
You're giving me half of your life. That's what you're giving me. Let's
So
be real.
if you give me that, I'll make you never want ever again.
wow.
That's like
Slow down, Jesus. Slow down, Papa. You're going really hard. You got to take the hat off, Papito. That hat is giving you wings. Yo, leave that for Sunday, bro. That's not here in the studio, all right? Go ahead. You
I
lost
give
your
you a
train of
shot.
thought.
Would
Sure.
you move to Fort Lauderdale?
Ooh, man, that's Florida. Sure, why not?
Would you move to Fort Lauderdale?
Sure, why not?
How about you and I document this? After this, you come, I do an interview with you, and I give you a job. And let's see what you do 90 days later.
I would love to watch that.
I wanted to see if that was the next video.
Yeah, watching if he would have agreed with it and did whatever. Watching somebody evolve
Is so inspiring.
after getting your first paycheck. You're like,
While
wow.
you're sitting there eating popcorn on the sofa, like, wow, that was really motivational.
So watching him, and then after 90 days, going back to him, hey, how do you feel? He'll probably he has to go back to some of this and be like, well, I still believe that capitalism is the way, but my life is way better. You can't deny that part. You know what I'm saying? If you're working hard, you're getting paid, you can't deny, wow, such a weight lifted off of me.
Yeah.
I bought my mom a new couch. She had the same couch as my whole life.
Oof.
Like that. I mean, that sounds like whatever, but to buy somebody something like that, couch is what, like $1,000 for a couch set?
Yeah, so if you go to Bob's
imagine
Furniture.
you buy somebody a couch set, you feel like, oh wow, they would even feel like, wow, you made it, right?
Yeah, what
What are you, rich?
every time you come over, it's like, please sit down.
These are yours.
I need you to sit down. Like, you did this.
Like, well, it's in the big chair. That's for you.
Now I want to buy somebody a couch. How motivational was that?
But and Patrick should still do this. He should find a socialist wherever and be like, I'll hire you for
Right.
90 days. We'll document it like a TV show.
What makes this sexier than what you're proposing is that what you're proposing, people have done, and it feels cheesy and like, you know what I mean? Like it feels like it was set up for clout. It's set up to, you see those people that help somebody.
Yeah.
So it feels like that. It feels like it's manufactured. Where this is like they came here to do an interview.
Yeah, they didn't come there for that.
He is off the cuff. Let's document this. Let's do something.
I wonder if afterwards he reached back out to me like, look, listen, you were acting like this, and that's why I took back my offer. Because you were very impossible to talk to.
Yeah, you were.
But I'd still be willing to make this effort. All right.
Go.
Okay, I'll look up your company and all that kind of stuff, and I'll see it.
But you
like,
see what just happened
regardless,
right there? Well,
Mike,
watch what you just did.
Sure.
You just said you applied to 477 companies who's not gone back to you.
Yeah.
A business owner who's hiring aggressively just made an offer to you. You said you're willing to move. Then you said, I'll look at it. You became selective.
I didn't
You
say I look at it.
contradicted
If you'd let me
yourself.
finish my sentence.
Go ahead. I want to hear it.
I would like to look into your company to
Yeah.
see exactly what you guys do.
You would like to.
Because I don't know what you guys do.
Okay.
So as far as I'm concerned, I may be wasting my time going. If you guys are a finance company,
He's just making up excuses because he's like, I already asked you what you do. And in my head, I got something for you to do. Saying I got a freaking, what is it? Where they have the airplanes? Right? That's where his, yeah. What's the name of that place that where he does his podcast? It's an airport or something, right?
Yeah, he made a mistake.
Oh, you want, yeah.
He made a mistake.
Okay, not loud.
Mad loud.
No, but he's like, oh, you're a logistic expert? Oh, I have an airport. You can manage these planes. That's a good job.
Logistics is such a broad. I was talking to this with my son because he just started school, and he's taking liberal arts, and I said, that's great, but liberal arts.
Oh, he's a liberal.
Liberal arts, right?
Oh, why don't you do conservative arts? Republican arts.
Someone needs some hugging. Someone needs a hug. No, what I was explaining to him was like, that's a great generic thing to get, but in every business you have like 4 cores. You have management, you have logistics or operations, you have human resources, right? So just those 3 alone, you should think about changing your major for your associates because you want to get one of the cores because that's what you're going to be going into the work field with. And instead of basically liberal arts, that's like an upgraded high school diploma.
Yeah, that's what everybody.
But if you go with one of those core operations, business management, accounting, and human resources, those are the core 4 on every kind of industry. You're going to need those 4.
Well, this guy got the logistics unpacked.
That's logistics.
He's ready to go.
So I was telling my son, get one of those, change your thing to one of those because you go into a work interview having some kind of specialized skill set in one of those 4. This guy offered him. Patrick Baytavia already had something in mind.
Yeah.
For him to turn around, it's like you said, he's already coming up with
looking
excuses.
for excuses. Yeah.
He's shocked, really. He's shocked that wait, this multimillionaire is asking for is asking for an interview for me.
Bro, I wish you would have asked me for that.
Bro,
I wish you would have been like, hey, you come work for me 90 days. I'm like, I'll act like one of these guys just to get the job. I'm like, I'm a socialist. Give me the job.
You're a freaking Nazi. That's what you are. Oh my gosh, good.
You guys are a bank or something like that. I don't have the certifications. I don't have the degrees. So even interviewing me would be a moot
What if I
point.
gave you a job, period, to work 80 hours a week? Would you take it? And I paid you a reasonable wage.
Are we talking a livable wage or a reasonable wage?
What do
and
you make
whose
right
version
now?
of reasonable are we
What do you
talking
make
about?
right
Your
now?
version of reasonable or my version of
But you
reasonable?
see, so now, for me, what I'm noticing from you is
I need specifics?
no, not necessarily. No, most of the people I hired need specifics. The difference is I'm trying to hire them. In this instance, you're trying to get a job and you're being selective. It's going to work against you.
I mean, I'm not trying to get a job. Originally, I was
My
trying to
offer is
ask you
off
where
the
the
table.
moral felt.
My offer is off the table
Okay, that's
because
fine.
you're going to be difficult to work with.
Okay, sure. But my question was,
But that, if you're difficult to work, you're never going to get a job.
Those 80 hours are worthless.
So
to me.
those 700 job applicants, no wonder they didn't hire you. I get it. Of course you're going to be
It
broke.
wasn't you weren't the 700th applicant. You weren't the 700th potential employee. It's like he's looking at it the other way around. Every job that he applied to gave him more ammunition to be in this self-entitlement. I'm a victim.
Yeah.
Nobody wants me.
I didn't get hired again.
Yeah.
It's not me.
It's them.
Yeah.
Where all those 750 jobs are looking at this situation, probably if they're watching that Jubilee, they're watching it like, bitch, it was you.
Yeah. You know whenever you're doing something in the office, somebody walks out, and then you go to your coworker, you're like, you're not gonna get a load of this guy. He was trying to get a job, and he was going back and forth.
I want to I've said this before on the podcast. I was a human resources. I would interview people. I've had many managers positions, whatever. But so at one point, I would look at somebody's Facebook or Instagram first.
You know, you should.
Before I even meet them, I would look them up.
You should have it up on your phone. Be like, can I ask you a question about this? What does this mean when you said,
bro, that bitch? I told her I'm like, I'm not hiring you.
Are you gonna bring this kind of drama to our company? Because we can't have that.
Because I can't fight. So
we have people that do that already, and I can't fire them.
they're here right
So
now.
we ain't hiring more.
They'll be your coworkers. We don't need more drama. Yeah, bro, I would do that. Go ahead. Jesus Christ.
where is my moral failing? Like, where is it that you are saying that I am not working hard enough and I am not doing
I just
enough?
experienced it right now because
Yeah, but see, the thing is, it's not that he's not working hard. We don't know how he works yet. We haven't even got to that point yet. Right? The point we're at right now is that I can't even talk to you. So how are you going to work in a company with God knows how many people?
Much less tell you, hey, go do this.
Yeah.
Is it going to be an argument?
Yeah, you're going to be like, why you want me to do that? What's going on over there? Why you need me to do that? You don't have nobody
That's
else
not
there?
logistics. That's not what you hired me for.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not my job.
I don't want to, yeah. If that's not my job, you don't want to hire those people.
I've used that line a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't lie.
I would never hire myself. That's not my
I
job.
would never hire myself. It's
Never.
crazy.
Why do that at my job now? They're like, you got to do that? I'm like, yeah. And I hang up. I look at my phone. I'm like, that's not our job. And we just don't do it. And then later on, I'm like, oh, I forgot. My bad. And then he'll never ask me to do something ever again. He's like, he forgets. Don't ask him. Meanwhile, that's not my job.
that's really what we're talking about here. Go ahead, hit it.
the way you just handled this situation.
Got it. So
here
I should
was-
accept anything
No,
that somebody
it's not-
gives me
not
at
at
first
all.
blush
No.
if it is a guaranteed thing.
No, not necessarily.
I agreed to do your interview. I agreed to be interviewed by you,
Yeah,
and you
but-
agreed to consider me for hiring.
Yeah.
So therefore, I am taking that opportunity. I've chosen to. But because I am asking you for specifics, your immediate reaction is that, oh, well, you're trying to be picky. I'm not. I'm asking.
specifics.
It's not
you could have
specific.
I said I
simply
need to look up your company. That's all I
you could have
said.
said is, I'm willing to have the interview.
And I did.
Yeah, he could have easily, this conversation, be like, what can you do? That's something you sit down with somebody. Now that you're going to hire me, what is it that your company does?
Oh, here's a better one. I'm willing to have the interview.
Yeah,
Then you take your ass home
and you research.
And
then
you don't like it? Hey, Patrick, I wanted to thank you for the opportunity. But right now, I don't feel like I would be a good match for your company.
I saw your episode where Trump was running for president. The things you said, I don't want to work for a company.
I like
that.
it.
I don't like that, and I don't like the way you talk to Adam. So
Adam needs help. He needs saving from your podcast. Yeah, absolutely. he's here to just release frustration, and the fact that these people are going against a capitalist at his caliber, like if they had a McDonald's owner, that person will melt.
Yeah,
but
and, that's why I kind of like, I don't like some of these things, because it's just like, it's not a conversation. It's you going in there like, okay, we hate this guy. We're here because we don't like this person. That's why we're here. So let's all jump on this guy. So I'm gonna have an attitude with him every time because he's an asshole. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that about the episode with the lady. She was like that with everybody else. As soon as somebody came up, she immediately was like, she don't like them.
Oh God, that lady.
And it's just like it was so hard to get past the first 5 minutes. I turned it off, and after like a day, I was like, I need to force myself.
That's
to
the one that you put in the chat, right? With Mike.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I put this one too.
Yeah. No. I watched this one already.
But that one was so hard to watch.
That one was impossible.
But that's what we're not going to talk about that.
I got angry.
Yeah, I got angry. Not angry, but I'm just like frustrated.
Yeah,
frustrated.
I'm like,
Come on, man.
For real.
Have
frustrated.
a conversation.
I don't know.
All right. What are we doing here?
Hit him.
You would have had the interview.
And I did.
No, you said it depends.
I said,
don't
yeah,
know.
sure.
Let me look.
Yeah,
And then
sure.
they
I
gave him
would
the
look
flag.
into your company. That's all I said.
I appreciate you. Thank you, James.
The guy had a chance to change his life, basically. Right? Because that's what would have happened. He would have changed. That life would have changed his life, possibly.
Hell yeah.
He would have moved to a different. And it's not like that area that he lives is holding him. Because there was a point where he's like, oh, your mom lives there, your dad.
He's willing to relocate.
He's like, oh, they all died.
They're all dead.
So, okay, so then why are you there?
Yeah.
You know, get out of there.
Yeah, he and the thing, the real sad part about it is that he really had the opportunity. Maybe you want to pan forward to the next person.
Well, the shit. Look, hold on. Go back. Give us the view here. Uh-oh.
That's me.
She's ready to go. You see her? She has a half smile. She's ready to go.
Hold on.
And it's funny that they zoomed in her because I think she's next.
Is he?
I think
Is
so.
she?
Yeah. Go ahead. Let her go.
I would love to see if she is next to get to her, because with him it's so obvious that she is next.
Hi.
Let's get her.
I'm Faye.
Faye?
Yeah,
Good to
nice
meet you.
So how would you define socialism? Because I think you're kind of misunderstanding what
You know who she reminds me of?
Oh no.
You ever seen Bob's Burgers? You ever seen it? She reminds me of the little girl. The older one, I think it is. Yeah, the oldest one.
Oh my god. Yo, you ruined it. Unseen.
All right.
capitalist ideals
Sounds
look
like
like.
her too.
Yeah, that's look at her face. Huh? It's literally her.
I think
That
we
is
are
good.
just trying to advocate for basic rights for our people in this country and across the world, of course. But I don't think it's necessarily about equal wealth disparity around the world for most people that are anti-capitalist. I think it's more about just standard rights that are provided by the government.
Standard rights that are provided by the government.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So
Go a little bit deeper. So for you, when the claim
Yeah, so like what rights are we talking about here? You talking about money? You think the government should give everybody money? I don't disagree with it completely because I feel like eventually with AI and robotics, there's not going to be no work, right? Eventually we're going to get to the point where the government's like, all right, nobody's working in the country.
But
Everybody's poor.
we've already experienced this with automation, with the what is it called? The line? The
Oh, yeah.
what is that called?
The
Worker line? The
factory line.
factory line?
Yeah.
The robots?
Yeah.
That shit replaced mad people, son.
Yeah, but also too, like the government can do like what happens in what the hell's the name of that freaking state up there? Alaska. Alaska has all the oil companies pay into a fund. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's not really a tax. It is a tax technically for the freaking company, but it doesn't go to the government. It goes into a bank account. And at the end of the year, they take that bank account and they split it amongst all the residents. Everybody gets a paycheck. So they could do that eventually when robots start automating basically the whole world. Have every company pay into a pot and everybody gets out of that pot. So it's not really a tax. It's just kind of like everybody gets a dividend from the companies. You know what I'm saying? So, we're not really taxing them. Technically, it's a tax. They still got to pay it. But
Right.
it doesn't have to be labeled as tax. It's just like a dividend. The government's only job is to manage it, not to hold the money. The money goes into our bank account.
And it just keeps growing.
The government's kind of hands off, and all they do is write paychecks to everybody else. Because if the government gets it in their pockets, forget about it. They're gonna do World War III. They're like, oh, we got money for wars now, guys. You know, that's what they did with Social Security. It was supposed to go into an account. I don't know if you ever heard of this. The amount of money you pay in Social Security, you could retire a millionaire. But they don't give you the money. They put it into an account. They give it to other people, or they pay for other things. So you only get a certain amount versus how much you actually put in.
That's why I feel like it's better not to have it and just.
Well, that's something you can put that into account.
Do your own thing.
Yeah. Well, that technically that's what we do with retirement funds or whatever.
Right, 401ks.
Yeah, 401ks. That's what we do. But if they took that money and just be like, all right, this is your bank account, it's yours, and you know this is the information you give them when you get a job, and they'll automatically put money in there for you.
Yeah.
And then when you retire, that's your bank account. It becomes available to you at 62, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it accumulates, you know, whatever it's called, percentage interest. Yeah, it accumulates interest as you go, and then you'll see the numbers go up because once you hit like a certain amount, it starts really getting a lot.
Yeah, because the amount is growing.
Yeah. Then you're gonna be like, oh, well, if I retire at 65, I'll get this, but if I retire at 62, I get less. I might as well work for 3 years.
Yeah, stick around.
Take
more of my life.
And then if that money, let's say you pass away, that money would get passed down to your children. You split it automatically into their accounts. It funnels down.
You have a lot of children.
Well, everybody gets a little piece.
You're screwed, son.
Everybody gets $50.
Everybody gets $50.
All right, let's go back to what's her name from Bob's Burgers. I can't remember. All right, let's
The thing here is, if the money in the world were divided equally,
so
it will
I
return
think-
to the same pockets within 5 years. Do you disagree?
Yes.
Tell me why you disagree.
Yeah, so I disagree because I don't even think many people are trying to argue for that.
People are not trying to.
So I don't think she even understands the question.
No.
Because she's like, I don't think people are asking for that.
He just got lost.
He's trying to give an example. If we give, this is what the point I think he's trying to make is, it's not about the money. It's about the person. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen those videos where they'll take a millionaire and they'll be like, all right, we're going to start you off with nothing. And you got to work your way up. We'll give you whatever, 5 months, 8 months. And then they start working in the store. First, what I say this all the time. They're like, I went to Craigslist or whatever Facebook Marketplace. I got something for free and I sold it. And then before you know it, you work your way up. There was one guy, he bought a trailer, like a trailer in somebody's backyard. And he asked me, hey, I don't got a way to take this trailer out. Can I just stay in it and I'll pay you monthly? And the guy was like, yeah. I didn't even think about that. He goes, I'll pay you $100 a month or whatever. He just stood in the guy's trailer for a few months working, saving money. And he was buying things and selling things on Craigslist on his free time. And eventually, he didn't make it to $1 million, but he had like $50,000, $60,000 saved up.
Nice.
But that's better than half these people here.
Yeah.
Because it has nothing to do with money. It's ambition. It's what am I going to, I got to do something. I got money. What am I going to do with it?
Damn.
You know?
She talks with her tongue. Her tongue is sticking out right there, by the way.
I don't think she has top teeth. You're going to see. You're going to see which one she's talking. Go ahead. Play it up.
Like,
Argue
who are
for
you
that?
arguing in this
Yeah,
debate?
what I'm trying
There's
to say.
like a very select amount of people that are trying to argue for equal wealth disparity.
Yeah.
Most people are at least trying to at least advocate for wealth and at all for people that don't have access to healthcare right now, that don't have access to a good education right now, that don't have access to their basic needs like food.
Do you think our system right now allows people to stay in those situations long term?
They force them to stay in those situations long term.
Okay, so part of me actually agrees with you, but why do you think they force them to stay in those situations long term?
I think because they are trying to convince the working class that they don't have rights.
I actually don't think that's what it is, although
That's
that's
a
fair to your point
crazy
here.
thing she said. They're trying to convince the working class that they don't have rights. That's a crazy thing. That's a crazy person's mentality.
Why?
Because what she's trying to say is the reason why they're keeping us poor is because they want us to feel like we don't have rights. That's crazy.
What does your rights have to do with your ass getting work?
Yeah, what does that have to do with money? You don't have rights to money. You have the freedom
To make money.
to make money, but that's not a right. And it's funny because we do have rights that we don't, like, Second Amendment is a right.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, you're not supposed to have guns, da-da-da. But they'll fight for money. They'll be like, oh, they got to give us free money. That's a right. You know? For housing is a right. That's not pursuit of happiness or whatever it's called.
Not that you get the happiness.
Yeah, not that you get it. You have to chase it down. Try. You may never get it, but that's your right to try to get it.
Versus you're stuck with a communist and your happiness is irrelevant.
Yeah, look, if it's funny.
Whether you want it or not.
And this guy that was before, speaking of communism, this guy before, he had an opportunity to get a good job. If he was in a communist place, they don't offer you jobs. They're like, hey, this is your job.
get
Good luck.
there, be on
Yeah.
time, or
Exactly.
go to jail.
Work in this office, work in this minefield, that's your job.
Your logistics, guess what?
Guess what? We're gonna make you work in this factory now. That's your job now, forever.
Yeah.
There's no quitting looking for a better job. That doesn't happen.
They're trying to convince us that we don't have rights. To what?
There. Can you rewind it like a minute? Not even, like 30 seconds even?
Triple click that bad boy.
In class
Stay in those
situations
they for-
long term.
Okay, so part of me actually agrees with you, but why do you think they force them to stay in those situations long term?
I think because they are trying to convince the working class that they don't have rights.
I actually don't.
You always know it's a conspiracy when it's they.
Yeah, no one knows who they are.
I know who they are. I don't want to say here. But they always say they.
Who are they?
The Jews.
Oh, you turned it into a horrible podcast, bro.
But they are trying to convince us. Who's they? I would press on that. Tell me who they is. Was it Trump? Is it Biden? Is it both? Is it Kamala?
It is definitely Biden. No, it's Trump. It's Trump. No, I don't know. Yeah, they, and part of that they stuff is this really sickening, like mentality,
Yeah, like they trying to keep us down.
this victim mentality.
Like I applied for whatever 500, 600, 700 jobs. They didn't want to hire me.
Okay.
It's always somebody else. All right, what are we doing here?
I think that's what it is. Although that's fair to your point here. What's the chances that any of you here voted for Donald Trump in 2024? Exactly, right?
So everybody laughed. They couldn't believe it.
How dare you?
That's impossible.
What is the chances that all of you here can't stand the phrase MAGA, Donald Trump, any of that stuff? Is that a fair assessment?
We never get to hear from her. She's not real.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah, so it's your
So
point.
think about it this way. So maybe you're right that the Democratic Party that's been earning your vote for a long time wants to keep you there because they'll
They
have
have
your vote
never
for the
earned
rest
my
of your
vote.
life.
They have never earned my
Who
vote.
did you vote for in 2024?
In 24, I voted for the socialist candidate.
Who was that?
She voted for the socialist candidate. Who's that? Who is it?
Bernie Sanders.
Claudia de la Cruz, I believe.
Who did you vote for in 2020?
I was actually not able to vote. I was in a hospital.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wait, hold on. Like, this is the best part. She was in a hospital. Why was she in the hospital? What do you think she says?
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
because
yeah.
of results of capitalism.
I forgot that part.
I was in the hospital because I was broke. The funny thing is, she was in the hospital. It's not like she didn't get medical care because of capitalism. Because she's in the hospital. She's getting medical care.
Right.
So,
Like that's not free.
yeah, that's not free. You're getting it, though.
Right.
Tell me more.
Yeah, so I didn't have access to proper health care or even access to a proper job that would sustain me as a disabled person.
Are you comfortable being specific?
Let me say, too, and you know this well. We all know this well, actually. If you don't work, you get Medicaid.
Yes.
And you get all that for free.
All of it.
You don't have to be like, I can't work, so I can't go to the doctor.
But that's a result of socialism, not capitalism.
Oh, but actually, it's better to be, if you're sick.
Right, but what
You're
you're
better off getting
describing, the
fired.
fact that I don't work and I get full coverage, that's a result of socialism, not
I
capitalism.
wouldn't call it socialism.
What is it called?
Okay? I would call it, this government taking care of their people. I wouldn't call it socialism. Socialism is a different thing. Socialism is an economic system. This is not socialism. This is the government taking care of its people. I think everybody should get. We talked about this.
But that's
before.
what they're arguing. They want the government to take care of everything.
Well, I don't think the government should take care of it. There's a few things. I feel
That's
like
not
we
what they're
could.
arguing, though.
Yeah.
That's all of these idiots are arguing that the government should. This is my draw. This was like my conclusion of what you got out of this. So let's keep with the Bob Burgers girl first.
Well, but let me say too. You can't complain that you went to the hospital and you were in the hospital for capitalist reasons if you're not paying for the hospital. Somebody else is paying. We're paying for it, technically.
I wouldn't have been there.
Yeah. But why wouldn't... There's something else. Why were you in the hospital? Because you were broke? You're broke and you're like, oh, sure, I got to go to the hospital. I'm broke. I'm broke. Doesn't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? That's our argument is I went to the hospital for capitalist reasons.
Yeah. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Because you're rich, I was sick and I had to go to the hospital.
That make no sense.
It's your fault.
Yeah. So okay, then he presses a little bit more because even he's like, okay.
¿Qué? He looks Spanish, right? Good.
Yeah.
On what happened?
I
You
guess
don't have to
so.
if you're not
I mean,
comfortable
I'm
with it.
also mentally ill, so that was something I had to deal with. But I'm mainly mentally ill because I am disabled in a capitalist country.
It tells
Like she's.
What does that
she's-
even mean?
She's a victim, bro.
So I think her logic is, I went crazy because I'm broke, and I see rich people.
No, you failed that horribly.
Well, think of what she said.
She's
I'm
saying,
mentally ill because
I'm-
I'm broke in a capitalist society.
I became mentally ill because of the capitalist system didn't allow me to get a good job, to get proper care, so I became sick.
Actually, wait, that kind of makes sense because that explains the way everybody thinks on that stage. They're
I understand them.
they're all
I am
mentally-
one of them.
They're all mentally ill because they want to blame other people for their problems.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been mentally ill if it wasn't for this system that only provides for the 1%ers, that only provides for the big companies and the government and the people who are running the government who are also in bed with those big companies. So the result of what's been going on in society for so long is the result of my mental illness that's been passed down. I wouldn't have gone through this if my parents and their parents weren't put into this unique society system of society that only bends to the very select few, the elites.
Yeah, so it made me crazy.
It was an effect, a cause and effect. This capitalism society caused this style of living for millions of people. And the effect has been poor nutrition, poor opportunities, lack of work, lack of resources, lack of education, and now I look like Bob Burgers.
Do you ever watch Naked and Afraid?
Excuse me?
You ever watch a show called Naked and Afraid?
I don't know. I feel like I
It's a
did.
great show. I love the show. I watch it sometimes at home with my kids.
Wait, that's the one where they're naked outside in the jungle?
and they have to survive for like a month.
See, I'm not a pervert, and you watch it with your kids, so we're gonna
I love
report
it.
you to CPS right
I love
now. I love
because it shows them struggling and overcoming. People,
yeah, but those are skinny people who have health, and they
no, they're not skinny people. Some of them are kind of big. They actually lose a lot of weight when they leave. All of them.
I hope so. You're in the forest,
But
naked.
you could see within the first day or two, you know who's gonna make it
really.
because the people that make it right away, as soon as they get in the jungle, they're like, all right, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta get food.
Oh, I thought we did a clip of that, and the girls were like complaining.
Oh,
And the guys were, like, chilling.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's other people that are like, there's no food anywhere. That's what they do. There's no food. There was one where they kind of put like usually it's two people, but they have one where they throw a bunch of people in different locations, but in the same area. So they know there's somebody around, but they don't know where. And sometimes they bump into each other, like, oh snap, I didn't know you were there. They're in the same area. They kind of got the same resources. You know what I'm saying? So they got this group over here a mile down the road, and they're thriving. Then you got this guy up the river, and he's like, there's no food. And the other team comes in like, what are you talking about? There's no food. There's food everywhere. They spend a day with him, and they catch food, and they give it to him. Now, maybe it's skill.
Absolutely.
But it could be that these guys are going to get it. Because the guy that was by himself is kind of like, they're like, what are you doing how are you getting food? He's like, oh, I'm sitting here, and I'm waiting for animals to come drink water, and I'll get them. And they're like, that's not hunting, Papa. You got to get the food.
Yeah.
Don't wait for it to come to you.
In the group of people that are here in this episode, how many of including Patrick McDavid, how many do you think survive?
And that show?
In that show.
She would immediately eat somebody. She would eat her partner. She's going to eat her partner. She's going to kill the partner and eat him while he's sleeping.
Why can I see that so clearly in my head? I can picture that.
And choking him.
like
Like the Simpsons.
Yo, you're going to hell. Go ahead.
Okay.
You really need that hat.
Tell me more about mentally ill. Who qualified you as somebody that's mentally ill?
Hold on. The reason why I think this is where he's pushing her on that, because people, you will go out there and you talk to them. We talk to them. We see them out there in the field.
Yeah.
Right? You talk to them, they're like, oh yeah, I have a medical issue. I'm OCD or I'm ADD or whatever. And you're like, the doctor tell you that? Oh, no, I just know.
Google.
Yeah, Google. And I think that's why he's pressing her. He's like, who told you mentally ill?
Yeah, he's pressing
Are you
her,
doing
like-
it to you? Are you putting yourself in this position?
You sure he's not? Okay, go ahead.
So, Ridge already.
No!
Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers.
I think her name is Tina from Bob's Burgers.
I think you're right. Keep playing. Keep playing. Because she kind of looks like she's in this. You know what I mean?
She does, but that doesn't mean you can't do things.
Or,
you know what I'm saying?
Just because she does look it doesn't mean that she's so right. She's so
I've seen people with full Down syndrome working jobs.
Word.
Yes, working. I'm not saying it's easy for them, but they're doing it.
Like Steve from Love on the Spectrum.
He has a job.
Yeah, he works in the bakery, doesn't he?
I don't know.
The coffee
I
shop.
don't watch that show. I don't know.
That's a great show, bitch.
I know it. I'm sure it's good.
It's mad good. I can't wait for the next season.
But look at her face.
And my doctorate team.
Who
It's the way she-
convinced you that you're mentally ill?
Me and my doctorate team.
What's the specific
My doctor team.
category
My doctor
of
team.
mental illness? Is there one? You know why I asked this question? Let me explain to why I asked this
So
question.
I don't even like the psychological industry. I don't really stand for like Sigmund Freudian politics or
Sure.
anything like that. So
Right
Meanwhile-
right there, she lying.
Meanwhile, she's like, that Sigmund Freudian thing. They're the ones that told me I was mentally ill. But I don't mess with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but how do you get that? Who diagnosed you then?
my team.
Who's your team? You have friends? Is that your team? My friends. They're my team.
Gemini, Grok, and
Yeah.
ChatGPT. She lying.
She lying. Yeah,
She lying. She lying. We all know she lying.
if you're
Yeah, I
going to
asked-
debate the
I'm
ethics
not.
of psychology.
I'm not. Where I'm going with this is going back to the same thing with if the money were to divide it equally, it'll
Yeah.
end up being where it's at within 5 years. My trouble is, in many cases, somebody you and I look up to will say something to us that we choose to believe for the rest of our lives. Unfortunately,
We never get to hear from her. I got to keep interrupting so the YouTube algorithm doesn't.
Give us a commercial.
Exactly.
Oh,
No,
cut us off.
Yes, exactly.
You know, she was kind of shaking in the first. She looked like she needed to see.
Who though? That's
She. I don't know if you noticed, but earlier she was shaking.
her?
Her.
Oh, I didn't notice her.
And it kind of makes you think maybe she should see Tina's team up top.
Her friends. Her friend group.
Her friend group. Yeah. Go ahead. Hit it.
it could be something where you have ADHD, you're mentally ill.
Those are really nice flags, though. Look at the handles.
And the hat.
And we never get to hear from this guy.
Cute.
We don't hear from him either.
He was. Yeah.
Right? Do we?
No.
I don't remember.
Are those teeth?
Those are shells.
Okay, great.
You're poor, you're this, you're
But
that,
why-
and we get to choose to buy into that or not. And if you
He's right, though. You get to choose. I'm not saying if you're mentally ill, you can't choose. Whatever. Some people just have it bad and they can't. They have a hard time. But he's saying you don't have to say, oh, I'm mentally ill. I can't do it because I'm mentally ill. You be like, I'm mentally ill and I'm still doing it. And I'm pushing myself to do it.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to settle in the situation you're in.
Yeah, exactly. You be like, I'm mentally ill. Oh, okay, I'm going to stay right here.
I'm nice and cozy. Let me make myself at
And
home.
I say, I'm mentally ill. Sorry, I can't do that. Mentally
Sorry,
ill.
mentally ill.
I can't get a job. No. You could be like, I'm mentally ill and I'm still going out there and I got a job. I work at Starbucks 20 hours a week. You don't even got to do a lot. Starbucks is actually a pretty good job, I heard. They give you medical benefits and everything. That's what I heard.
Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Yeah, they're trying to up their game. I remember when I was recruiting for the home care agencies,
And they support Israel. Your
and
favorite country.
you really need to let them go.
Your favorite country.
They, I remember like a few people yell out, special accommodations. Special
In
accommodations.
Starbucks?
No, in the HRA, the
Oh, I was
food
about to
stamps
say,
and
when you
Medicaid.
walked in, they were like, special accommodation. They were like, me? Every time I walk into Starbucks, they say, man,
Special accommodations. That's what me. You idiot. No. So and then I didn't know what that meant when this like one or two random people would scream that thing. Then I figured it out. I was like, when you say that, the caseworkers or the employees at the office would have to see you first because you have some kind of special accommodation.
oh, but see, look, hold on. My brain immediately went to, how could I get that?
You just have to yell it and then look like that. That's it.
Like Tina?
Act like Tina, and
like
you're
a
fucking
Bob's
in there.
Burger
Yeah,
character?
yeah, exactly. That's basically what you got to do. I was like, damn, I gotta try that.
So they're looking at him like he's the owner of the amusement park in Bob's Burger. That's how they're looking at him. All right,
murder
go ahead.
do,
So you're saying I'm not mentally ill or I'm not
saying
disabled?
you are or you're not. I would challenge it to go a little bit deeper to see if there's anything you can do about it.
So you're asking me
Yeah.
about my health. You're asking me about my disability
I'm not.
and my.
I will say we are in a market where, stay with me here, there is a market where there's profit to convince you to have issues to take the medication.
And he's 100% right.
100%.
The doctors can be like,
Right now, the doctors and the pharmaceuticals are like, you need to stop. We're gonna sue you. That's our customer.
yeah. Her doctor's watching the episode and is going back to her. Like,
Her team of doctors.
Yeah, her
sir.
team of doctors. They're like, I think you need more medication because you almost let go there.
So people are gonna watch this episode, and the one or two people that watch it are gonna be like, "You guys are making fun of someone who's disabled."
Yeah.
We are. Go ahead.
Tom, tell me if Tom watches.
Because they're making money.
Yeah, but I
and
don't
I'm
have
not
access to
supportive
the
of that.
medication. I don't have access.
But why doesn't she have access? If
She has a
Medicaid's
whole
free?
team. How could she not? How could you have a whole team of doctors?
None of them give you a prescription.
All of them are gonna be like, call this number.
Yeah. You never heard of
There's
Medicaid?
an alley.
Free Medicaid? She's lying.
She's lying, and the only retards are the people that are buying into this shit.
Yeah.
Her shit. Go.
Access to even a result or a solution to my disability as someone with a connective tissue disorder. It's genetic.
Have you?
Acting. That's an award right there, bro.
So-
You have a skill right there.
Well, so what she's saying is that they can't. I have a team of doctors. They don't know what's wrong with me.
So you have a whole team of doctors that can't diagnose you, but you've been diagnosed, but you can't have medicines because what?
Well, so this is the problem. I think is happening. She's going to her team of doctors, and she's like, I got a mental issue. Da, da, da. And then the doctors are like, we don't know what's wrong with her. And you know why we don't know what's wrong with her? Because she's lying. She's lying about this whole thing. So of course we can't figure it out because we're trying to figure out real things. That she's lying.
We don't have medicine for liars.
We don't have medicine for liars out here. Yeah?
Actually, they think
he
they do.
does. He does. He's doing it right now.
That's the medicine.
Yeah.
A dose of reality.
Yeah.
Go, freaking guy.
Been able
He's
to go
frustrated.
to different doctors and get yourself tested? And
Yeah.
see? You have?
Yes.
And
So his face. Yeah, you saw his face, right?
He was like, "Oh, she has."
Yeah, 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 yeah. He knows. He smells the bullshit.
He's smelling the bullshit.
Yeah, right.
She contradicted like 7 times.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
supposed to believe the last one.
in California,
Yes, but not
And who
enough.
paid
I can't
for it?
find a specialist.
you can't find
I
a
can't
specialist.
find a specialist
Is there
for who
anyone
I
in your
am.
life that's
I
willing
can't.
to?
What did she just say? I can't find a specialist for who I am.
For who I am, bitch. I thought you had a team.
Do you need to get fixed or not? If you have a disease and you talk to the doctor and the doctor's helping you, he's giving you medication, and then you talk to the doctor like, I just don't like this guy. I'm not gonna go to this guy. I'm just gonna be like, well, I guess I'll just die because I don't like this guy. He's not good for me. I don't like him.
Yeah, but what I'm also hearing is the contradiction. You have a team of people, bitch. That's a whole specialty.
You
right
have more
there.
doctors than me.
That's crazy.
They know what's wrong with me.
My
One
one
doctor
doctor
knows.
knows exactly what's wrong with me, and you have a team. Come on, can you cut it out? Go ahead.
Because
hit
she's
it.
not real. She's a cartoon.
Find
Is she a
anyone.
specialist?
Well, they could they would if they had
Anybody
money,
in
but
your-
they, yeah.
Would you be okay if I paid?
Who? They would if they have money. Who?
Who would what? Who would pay for
Who
it?
needs the money? What are you talking about? She's
It's-
like, I want to get a
Oh.
specialist. They would if they will give me a specialist if they have money. You want the doctors to pay for it?
Right. No. She's saying if someone can afford for me to go to a specialist, but I can't, and I'm like, again.
Wait, but listen, hold on.
if you have Medicaid, that shit is included.
Let's just imagine she's really struggling in her heart,
Okay.
and she prays and she's like, God, send somebody to help me pay for this.
Uh-oh. I think
God's gonna answer this.
I think I know what you're alluding to here.
Let's go see.
Ta-da, let's see.
Let's go see.
If the prayer gets answered, guys. Hit it.
For a specialist for you to go see?
Yeah.
Would you take money from a capitalist to help you go see specialist?
I mean, yeah, sure. Why
I'm
not?
going to have you go see two. Where do you live in California?
Yeah.
I'm going to have you go see 2 specialists. But would you also be open to seeing somebody else I choose as a psychologist that may...
No.
You're not.
No.
She didn't
That
even finish.
rejection is hard body.
Right.
That rejection is now you're turning this into you're invading my HIPAA.
Yeah.
HIPAA, he's violating my
She didn't let him finish though, because he's like, I don't. Basically, what he's thinking is, I don't trust your doctors. I'll put you with a guy. I know the guy, and I know he's legit. He's gonna help
He
you.
said I'm giving you to 2 specialists. I paid.
No, but I'm saying,
But
whoever,
you have
you
to
mentioned-
agree, because I think you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think
bitch.
you're lying.
I think you're lying.
I think you're lying.
And I think that's really where my money is gonna go towards. benefiting you.
Yeah.
Finding someone to talk to.
So this is what happened here, right? She's praying, God send me. So this reminds me of people that be like, they'll pray to God, and they'll be like, God, I want strength. Give me strength. And God's like, all right, I'm gonna make things really hard for you, right? Make heavy weights so you can be strong.
You're gonna have to walk extra.
Yeah, everything's gonna be harder because you want to be stronger, right? That's how you get stronger. And they're like, oh no, I don't want this blessing. Forget it. And God's like, I'm giving you what you asked for.
It's too hard.
Yeah, it's too hard.
It's supposed to be hard. Yeah. So, oh God, what else was I gonna say about that? Her instant reaction was, first of all, the fact that someone is willing to pay for 2 specialists and a psychologist, bro. I don't turn anything down that's free.
Yeah. I don't have anything wrong with me now with the specialist. You're gonna give it to me for free? I'll take it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, what is gonna lose?
Yeah,
I'll go to your stupid psychologist.
I haven't had sex in 14 years. Do I want an HIV test? Sure, why not? It's free. What else you find in there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be shocked if I have something in my
like this whole time.
That's fucking crazy.
For years,
I know exactly who it was.
Oh, that explains. Okay, now I understand why I feel like this. That's why my bones hurt.
I need another specialist. All right, here we go. Hit it.
Oh,
So
you choose as a psychologist. You're choosing.
Wait, she has the same problem the last guy had. Looking for something to be like, no, I can't take this.
She found it.
And she found it.
She found
Who
it.
gets to determine what my mental health looks like? No.
Okay, then I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah. So I think. All right. Thanks for talking.
Thank you so much. Yes, anytime.
So they're voted out because everyone's raising their flag?
Yeah, so everybody raises their flag. And
again, I don't watch these things.
So basically, it's a circle. Obviously,
Okay.
The guy's in the middle.
I saw the circle.
He's like, I'm gonna say one thing, and you guys argue that point that I said with me.
Okay.
Let me just take a sidestep and say that last episode with the lady, I forgot her name. That's why it was driving me crazy because she wouldn't stick to topics. She would kind of go. She's just loud and it's like that's not what the topic was about. You're going off. Anyway. So then they, and then the people in the circle, after you go in there, you're talking to the guy. If they don't like what you're saying, they're supposed to raise the flag because they don't want you to be in that circle, in the middle. So that way another person got an opportunity. But that's not
all the flags have to be raised for to be voted out?
Yeah, every single person has to raise their flag.
And she earned it.
Yeah. So basically, you could be the one guy that kind of holds out.
And when did she earn it in particular?
When you hear the beeping sound?
No. What was going on that she earned it in particular?
What do you mean? How she earned it? Oh, what did she say?
What earned her?
I think when she turned on the specialist. If you rewind it.
When she turned down the specialist, even the other bumbling idiots were like, you're wildin'.
Yeah,
They're
right
giving you something for free and you're turning it down.
Just press play and mute and leave it in the background.
You know what I mean? They're literally giving you something. They're literally giving you something for free and you're turning it down. You look like you need a psychologist and you're turning this thing down for what? You're getting.
All right, hold on. Pause right there. I gotta step out the picture for a second.
You gotta step out the picture.
Right
I got you.
Wait. Hold on. Go back.
Where are we going?
Right there. You see this right here? This white flag right here?
Oh, that's the meter.
That's the meter. You see, he had a few already. You see the flags in the background? So leave it playing as we're talking. So if you keep watching the meter, and as she's talking, look, the meter's going up because more people are voting. And the more people that, this one, she's like, oh, I'll offer you a specialist. Fast forward and give it like 2 clicks. Click. See?
Wow.
More people are voting.
Up. Oh my gosh.
So like,
oh no. And the second she returns down the offer, bang.
Bang, done. I don't think you need to hold your flag up. I think it's kind of like, hey, count me. Put your flag down, you're done.
Oh, okay. So they're counting all the flags.
People just want to, they want to be, look at me. They don't know the rules. I'm sure they explained this.
One guy was going like,
anyway. That whole
Jubilee session
was just, I'm a victim. The world's bringing me down. But what he proved on that episode was you're keeping yourself down. Sure, the world is hard and it's rough. But when you get thrown a lifeline, you don't take it. You look for a reason not to take that lifeline. So you can't blame everybody else. And that's why you want socialism or water communism, whatever you want. Because you don't have to do anything. The government takes care of you. You can stay where you are. You're a victim.
Yeah.
There's no effort involved to be communist.
One of the things I also gathered, and maybe I'm wrong, and someone could check me on it, but I feel like the overall mentality of that circle group was that they believe in not just socialism, but they want a dictator to manage the socialism.
Yeah, they want a mommy.
They want a mommy. Call it a president, madam president. They want a mommy, a person to manage a socialistic society.
Yeah.
But they don't understand that in that definition itself, that's communism.
So they want a mommy, and the capitalist is like, no, I'm the daddy. I run this house.
It was very entertaining to watch it. I would love to see him to do part 2. With some of these people in particular, like this guy in particular, do a part 2 to see.
I would really like to see this guy work for the 90 days and see,
that would have been so dope.
Even if he stays with the same kind of victim mentality, they still have to be like, okay, but even though life is hard still, how is your life now that you've been working and making money?
We went just to bring up somebody else that we've had this conversation of victimhood mentality when it comes to minorities. This just goes to prove to you that it's across multiple cultures. It's also in the whites. So this victimhood mentality is not just the blacks, it's not just the Puerto Ricans, it's a bunch of white people. And that's not the problem. The problem is, like, how do you escape that mentality? And that victim mentality has been going strong. I feel like when we left high school, when we dropped out, that's when it was like victim me. Like I feel that's been carrying over. It's now that our kids are going to college and they're doing things that our generation didn't do. For a vast majority, most kids were getting knocked up having kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In this neighborhood, in this neck of the woods.
Well, they say that this generation of young people are more conservative than the generations beforehand. And I think it's one of those things where it's like you see the same thing over and over. Like, yeah, nobody's going to try.
Because the promises that our leaders have made in that other side, in that progressive side, have not come to fruition. And now it's a victimhood mentality. And the only people they could blame are the ones that are actually trying to afford change. And those people that are trying to afford change come off as racist, come off as bigots. And I'm jealous that you have what you have, Patrick. That's the bottom line. I'm jealous. You're special. You somehow you cheated people to get to where you are, or you were given a silver spoon because you're not like us.
Meanwhile, he was like them, 100%. And I think that's why he was a great choice for this, because he's just like, I was where you are.
Yeah,
100%. I was
even worse. I was a freaking refugee. I was a freaking from another country. Like I'm that thing that you guys are fighting for. I'm a step
further back than you are right now, actually. Yeah, you're way ahead of where I was at.
You got a way head start than I did. So I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys know what to do.
Like, subscribe, comment on Jose. His hat. He wants to know what you think about his hat. He doesn't like taking the stickers off the bottom of the hat. So please tell him to take it off.
In case I have to return it. It's a victimhood.